Thanks for joining us on the biggest story tonight. I'm Niranjan. It's 7 p.m. and ahead of the elections in 2022, it's a verdict that everyone was watching out for. 5 years back when this election was held in Uttar Pradesh, Samajwadi Party managed to sweep the election. They won over 60 seats. That was in 2016. Things have changed in 2021, months before UP votes again to choose its next government. Yogi Adityanath and the BJP have swept the local body elections, the Zilla Panchayat elections in Uttar Pradesh, winning 67 of 75 seats. 67 of 75 seats, and that's a big victory for the BJP. Yogi Adityanath has tweeted a few minutes back while saying that it was a reflection, a mandate on the governance and all the schemes implemented on the ground, saying it's a reflection of what his government has been bringing to the table. Let's go across to Abhishek Kapoor, our senior executive editor, joining us live on the broadcast. Abhishek, the fact that it came after COVID-19, there was criticism after COVID handling. It comes bang in the middle of the political churn also in Uttar Pradesh. There's been so much of speculation. And it comes at a time when all these smaller parties are joining hands. But I think this verdict is politically very significant.
Well, Niranjan, I would begin with a caveat, and the caveat is that the district panchayat elections and the block development body elections essentially are indirect elections. The panchayat members elect them. But then, this essentially also shows that on the ground, there is a tailwind going in for the BJP still. And to that extent, these are important markers of the sentiment on the ground for a particular political party. Now, you said it happened in the case of Samajwadis also 5 years back. But then in the backdrop of the COVID pandemic, second wave, in the backdrop of some internal dissent within the BJP about the leadership heading into the assembly elections, I think this is a marker of general sentiment, general political sentiment in favor of BJP as of now, I would say that. Given the fact that be it Amethi, be it Rai Bareli, be it Manpuri, Muzaffarnagar, which is the home ground of Rakesh Tikait, who has been leading the farmers' protests. BJP getting district panchayat bodies in its side essentially shows that I think the Yogi government is in good stead as they head into the assembly elections. And the opposition perhaps would need to get its act together, Niranjan, and would want to be seen on the ground and have some skin in the game if they have to really compete with the BJP in the 2022 assembly polls. These panchayat elections, in a way, are a wake-up call for the opposition to go beyond the standard responses of EVMs and manipulation and look at their own cadres on the ground. Congress is effectively non-existent. I think because Mayawati could read the wind properly, the political wind properly, she chose not to contest these elections and withdrew her cadres and asked them to focus on the assembly elections instead. And for the BJP to increase their tally essentially shows that despite all the voices of discontent we heard over the last 1 month, it seems that those have been managed, those have been taken care of, and the party seems to be stable and looking good heading into the assembly polls. Niranjan.
Now, interestingly, in 2016, Abhishek, 2016, Samajwadi Party had swept the similar election, right? And that was around when they decided to, join hands with the Congress Party and Rahul Gandhi, and we saw that bonhomie back then. Now, there was one picture, I'll ask our producers to pull out that graphic of Samajwadi Party. It's Akhilesh with Rahul, Akhilesh with Mayawati, and now Akhilesh with Kejriwal. And it comes at a time when, there are 5 fronts perhaps. One, BSP is going alone. Those are BJP versus BSP, of course. And then you have Owaisi and Rajbar. And then you have Samajwadi Party, probably with the Aam Aadmi Party. And then you have the independents, of course, right? There are 4 or 5 fronts that are taking shape. Essentially, what is happening is that the entire opposition vote is being split, isn't it?
Well, Niranjan, again, what happens is that these panchayat elections, because at the village panchayat level, it's not run on, it's not contested on the party symbol, and typically what happens is because it's an indirect election at the district level, it happens to be winner takes all. So that also gets reflected in the number in favor of the ruling party.
Stay with me.
But
I think we
having
have
said that,
Uttar Pradesh Minister Siddharth Nath Singh joining us on the phone line. Mr. Singh, good evening. And the results, of course, very good for your party. How are you reading it? And how is the BJP reading it in Uttar Pradesh?
Well, it's a sign of that there is the people who have won, or they have those who were elected in the panchayat elections. They have faith in BJP's leadership and in the candidate who have become the president. So they all voted for the BJP president, and the BJP has won 57 seats, and 2 have gone to our allies. So it's a good sign, and certainly as BJP minister and worker, we all feel very happy about it, and it shows the trust in the leadership of Yogi Adityanath.
Chief Minister himself has tweeted saying that it's a reflection of the governance, the schemes, etc. Now, it also comes at a very interesting time when your state government faced some questions on COVID handling, but I think you answered those critics anyway. But it comes at a very interesting time, isn't it? And sends a big message.
Well, it is certainly, the opposition, particularly Samajwadi Party, has been making a lot of hue and cry about these elections, calling them semi-finals. Well, I don't know what they would like to call now. And as a loser, they will be certainly making excuses about it. But then this is a fair elections of the state, run by the state election machinery. So I'm sure they will recall what happened in 2012 also. So all those things put together, it's a good victory for the BJP just before the 2022 elections. And it does give us the impetus and to the workers to go all out and win 2022.
Now that we have you on the phone, Mr. Siddharth Nath Singh, let me ask you one last question. This meeting between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Samajwadi Party, Sanjay Singh, the parliamentarian, and Akhilesh Yadav. Now, there seem to be 3 or 4 fronts that are being formed against Yogi Adityanath's government in Uttar Pradesh. What's your response to all of these fronts that are taking shape?
Well, certainly, those who are forming the fronts, be it Samajwadi Party or any other alliances, big or we have seen what happened in 2017 and 2019. At the end of the day, it's the win of the voters and what they wish to and elected BJP because in the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji and in the Prime Minister and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath ji. So I think what counts is your work on the ground and serving the interest of the people and not your own.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Siddharth Nath Singh. Thank you for joining us. We'll try and see if we can get you on at 9 p.m. as well because we are debating this and the political developments around Uttar Pradesh. Going back to Abhishek, on the question of these fronts that are taking shape in Congress, you know, we were talking about how even though Priyanka Vadra may have had big plans for Uttar Pradesh for herself, of course, that's almost been like the, how do you call it, the training ground for a national, you know, for a springboard that they were trying to use Uttar Pradesh as. Of course, you saw Rahul Gandhi in the past trying his level best, you know, from that state. Hasn't exactly been successful either there or elsewhere. How do you see the different alliances that are taking shape add up to the overall battle that is taking place in 2022?
Niranjan, well, your second question first. So far as Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's training is concerned, I mean, you know, the Gandhis have to decide and the Vadras have to decide for how long they want to be trained because the training of Mr. Rahul Gandhi in UP went on unending and then he had to finally shift to Kerala. And so it seems Priyanka Gandhi was launched sometime in 2016-17 and that training continues. Having said that, so far as Uttar Pradesh political dynamics are concerned, we have to understand, Niranjan, that there is no political permutation or combination that has not been tried. All these small parties that are now trying to coalesce towards the Samajwadi Party have at one point in time or the other been with the BJP, been with the BSP, and now perhaps they think that Maya Gawati is not present on the ground, and that's why perhaps trying to, gather around the Samajwadis. But then, as I said, as of now, the picture coming out from the state is that, at a very crucial state, is that opposition is missing boots on the ground. We have seen it could be partly because of COVID, but substantially because there is inertia. The BSP did not even find it fit enough to give a symbolic contest to the BJP in these elections. The Congress party has been absent from the dynamics of Uttar Pradesh for more than 2 decades now. And the Samajwadi Party is making some noises essentially centered around Lucknow. So I think that is how it stands so far as Uttar Pradesh's political dynamics are concerned as it heads into the assembly elections of 2022, Niranjan. And in that context, I think these panchayat results are an indication of the wind in the sail that the BJP has as it heads into a campaign mode. And as I was explaining earlier, and post Amit Shah, the party has evolved into a 24/7 election machine, and that is something which has been in play. And that is why, despite some element of internal dissent within the party over the last 1 month that surfaced, the party has succeeded in papering over it, in managing it, and then delivering these kind of results. Niranjan.
Thank you, Abhishek. We'll take a break now, and we'll come back with the other big political headline of the day. There's been another change in Uttarakhand as it gets a third chief minister in 4 months.